I wanted the project to be kind of a melting pot of a heap of different cross-sections and lived experiences so that it could speak to different audiences. Maybe if somebody liked one story, they might discover something new as they continue watching the show. It's Fine I'm Fine is a show about therapy. It's what I like to call happy sad storytelling. In order to get it financed, I call it modular storytelling, in the sense that, yes, it was financed as a short form series, 12 little bite-sized stories, could then potentially be repackaged to exist in the traditional TV half-hour format. And luckily with our SBS acquisition, it's made the series a TV half-hour mini-series, which is beyond what we thought we could achieve.
Same time next week?
Two things inspired the creation of the series. The first one was frustration. I was really frustrated with the lack of opportunities for newer voices to kind of take that leap from emerging to mid-career. And so I wanted to create something that allowed for not myself, but a lot of other people to actually come along in that kind of credit building opportunity. Then it was reverse engineering. What does that look like? What am I interested in? What sort of stories do I want to tell? I like therapy. I don't go nearly enough. I don't think a lot of us do. I had done all the talky therapy and I found it really exhausting. And so I was going to hypnotherapy, which is all about creative visualization. And so in this therapy session, I didn't actually have to talk as much. I could listen to what the therapist was guiding me through, and I could visualize certain things. And I was really interested in that intersection of unpacking the human condition and doing it with a really creative approach. So that's how the magical realism came in. And then also I knew that I wanted an ensemble of writers with me. Essentially all of the writers and the way that they approached their stories, it was on their own. I would talk to them about the rules of the show. The rules were we had to stay in the one location, so we were always in the therapy room. They had to write between 5 to 10 pages per episode because that would make it shootable and achievable on budget for us. It had to contain magical realism that Joanne couldn't see. Then they were able to go away and just explore whatever they wanted to say.
Well, I see why this might be a challenge for you.
Yes, you could say that.
So magical realism is something I'm really drawn to just creatively because I love doing things in camera. I've never worked with the budgets that are needed for VFX post. So I tend to really love when something exists in camera that feels tangible and real. I didn't want the magical realism to get in the way of the story. So it was about finding that balance of how does it complement what we're trying to say without overpowering and distracting and making it feel like a joke.
I know it's weird.
No, it's not weird.
You know Ken Harry, ma'am?
So we had 2 consultants on the series. We had a psychology consultant. It was really important to me that we weren't actually undermining therapy. I think it was really vital that if people watched this, it might open their minds to maybe going to speak to somebody. I didn't want it to seem like therapy was the joke. It was never the joke. Then we also had an Auslan consultant on the series, and his name's Eden Chapman, and he's actually playing the character in episode 12 across from Joanne. So we brought him in as an actor after having a really lovely collaborative relationship. The biggest challenges for the series were definitely budget and time. We shot 80 pages of drama in 8 shoot days. There was one day where we shot 17 pages. The way that we approached making the space in the episodes feel unique was with our cinematographer and our editor, we had plotted basically what the coverage for every episode would be prior to shooting. So we did a lot of pre, and I think for this project we really needed to. I'm also someone who's not afraid of crossing the line. We don't do much of it in this, but I love unique framing. You know, I'm really a fan of negative space, and so for certain episodes everything lives much wider. Then when we need to get really intimate, for Archie's episode we're pushing minimums. You know, I wanted to feel like we were in there with him and feeling what he was feeling. So the cinematography, we kind of let it be informed by the story and by what we wanted an audience to feel. I hope that audiences just use it as an outlet to open up a conversation, honestly. This is not brain surgery, right? What we do is a privilege and an honour. We get to tell stories and play silly buggers for a living. And I just wanted to use this as something to maybe help people open up a little bit.